So everyone's telling you that AI is going to displace your job. And guess what? They're probably right, especially if you're in one of the industries that's very likely to be displaced by AI. Some of those are things like admin, customer service, bookkeeping, junior level accounting, paralegals, lawyers. Guess what? There might not be a need for you anymore in the future because AI can do everything that you do 24 hours a day without needing to sleep, without needing lunch breaks, and it can probably do it at a more efficient, cost-effective way. So what do you do? Are you doomed for the rest of your life with your career, or are you going to have to take a job that you don't want to take? Every Joe Blow wants to build the next AI startup, thinks that AI is like the bee's knees and we should all quit our jobs and work in the AI space. Guess what? The great opportunity here is if you're ambitious enough and willing to take the challenge and the journey of going into business, there's this great opportunity today that sits, especially if you have some of these specialized skills in healthcare, law, accounting, engineering, industry backgrounds. But even sometimes if you don't have these levels of experience or qualifications or specialized skills, you can still jump into some of these industries. And there's something called entrepreneurship through acquisition, or what a lot of people call ETAs. Sometimes this is sort of phrased as search funds, which is essentially an investment group or capital, private equity who are backing searchers, individuals who have specialized skills or are interested in buying and acquiring businesses. They're willing to back and fund you through searching. They'll pay you a salary to help you search for a business. They'll help you acquire the business. They'll fund and cash flow the business and help you then go and work in the business. And so essentially you might look at that as buying yourself a job. But contrast the two sides. One side is you continue on in your career today, very little future prospects. You're limited in your earning capacity, and very likely within the next 5 to 10 years, your role will be displaced by AI. And so why not consider a small business that has recurring revenue streams, a strong reputation that often is around for 20 plus years, and is not tech enabled yet. And so instead of trying to become the next AI guru and think of the next AI startup that's going to revolutionize the world, let me share some news with you. 1 in 1,000 of these AI startups will be around in 10 years from now. Few of the top interesting ones in that 1,000 might get acquired by the big players, but ultimately 1 in 1,000 AI startups will make it past this next decade. And so do you want to run the risk of being, part of that 0.001% of people that will make it in business and startup? Or do you want to find a market or an industry or a business that allows you to have a secure job, you're in charge, you're the boss, allow it to pay yourself more stable income, and actually feel like you're using these AI and automation tools that are around today to make a small business tech enabled and grow? Especially today's day and age, over this next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see baby boomers retiring. Many of these guys run businesses that do anywhere from $500,000 to $10 million in top line revenue, with a very strong EBITDA, often upwards of 25-30%, some of them even higher depending on the industry and the specialized skills or service that they offer. Many of these baby boomers have worked later on in age, so they've not retired at 65. These guys are now entering their 70s, and they've never undertaken the tech enablement of their business. In the .com boom, they built a website, they maybe paid a Google Ads person, they set up Outlook or Gmail accounts, and they've got a computer IT person that helps them with their computers, often, by the way, paying an astronomical amount for an IT consultant to manage a network that's overcooked for such a small business. But essentially these people, they've done all the legwork. They've built a business that's been tested and passed the test of time, have longevity, have recurring stable income, often contractual agreements with where this income comes from. They have a strong reputation in the marketplace, and they've been through those first 5 to 10, 15 years that are difficult in any small business while you try and scale and grow. And so you can go in, acquire one of these businesses, implement automations, technology, AI, basically streamline often a lot of the administrative work that these owners still do, and often they're the ones operating and working the business. And essentially you're setting up within the first 6 to 12 months the ability to scale a business through automations and technology, allowing you to replace yourself with staff, building out a team, going after bigger market share. And many of these industries, like a lot of the big players, are already not tech enabled themselves, even some of the ones that are really big fish in the marketplace. And you're probably wondering, what are these industries? What is it that I want to be able to buy a business in, or where's the opportunity to buy a business? And I think what you need to understand is, the first point is to think about what your specialized skills are. Are you an accountant? Did you do an accounting degree? Did you do a law degree? Are you in healthcare? Do you have a healthcare background? Are you a tradesperson? You've got experience in industry, commercial. Think about what your niche is and start to think about where your skill sets are easily transferable. I mean, really simply, an accounting person is going to have phenomenal financial information and knowledge to be able to manage a P&L, project financial growth in a business and be able to manage cash flow well. Those skills are transferable across any industry. Some of these industries do require specialized skills, and even if they do, you can pay for some of these skills as well. So you can hire and recruit people to deliver the work that is required for these specialized skills. But ultimately, you need to be looking at markets that are not going to be displaced by AI. At the end of the day, we can't beat the human touch of healthcare. That will not be replaced. Maybe some automated medical tests and surgery, or parts of surgeries, might be replaced by robots one day. But at the end of the day, you need a human with a brain who has the knowledge associated with assessing your healthcare and then delivering the right healthcare and implementing the right treatment plan for you. You can think of it across other industries. If you're looking at a sector like education, education's always going to exist. Now, technology has evolved education, and now we see computers and iPads in every classroom around the world. Often there's a lot of education tools that have been built over the last 20, 30 years that have now been, a mainstay in schools and universities and education settings. But, at the end of the day, teaching is going to be an essential part of the future. And so if you look for a business that provides services to the education sector, or has a niche product that is sold or delivered or provided to the education sector, this is likely going to be an industry that thrives and actually benefits and grows with AI. And, the scaremongers out there, what they're going to tell you is, we're all going to be displaced by AI. We're going to live in this world that, utopian world where robots control everything and we don't have to work. Believe me, we were put on this earth to work. We need a purpose. We need drive. If you're thinking that you're going to just ride this AI wave and come up with the next best idea, I think you need to rethink your strategy and consider entrepreneurship through acquisition. And essentially, if you look at the statistics, do the research, go and ask ChatGPT, what's the job market growth looking like in Western countries like Australia, the USA, the UK, Europe. Look at the statistics. Every single job market and industry is projected to grow. And that means more jobs, different types of jobs, probably more small business owners providing human-to-human services, and a robot's never going to be able to replace those services and businesses. And so, the future is very bright. There's an abundant future out there, and it just takes you looking under the rocks, applying common sense, and coming up with a strategy that allows you to research the marketplace, know where to look for these businesses, know what the process is to go through acquiring one, how to get the funding, how to get investor support, and then what does the first 30, 60, 90, 180 days look like? What do you need to go in and do? What sort of implementation? When's the right time to start hiring? When's the right time to invest in automations? When's the right time to go and build your own SaaS software for that business, because you can then add that as a value add to clients and sell it on. All these steps are really important. And, if you watch some of the content that I'm about to share on this channel over the coming weeks and months, I recommend that you look out for it, because I'll talk about all these different elements that, the searching component, the negotiations, how to get the legal and accounting support, what those 30, 60, 90 days look like, and what will be expected of you as an entrepreneur who's just acquired a small business, what the responsibility will be on you. And believe me, if you educate yourself, you invest in yourself, and you go on this journey and back yourself to work hard and build a life for yourself, you're going to create much greater stability for you, your family, and the life that you want to live long term. And all of a sudden you've created freedom for yourself that isn't dictated by your job title or an industry that's displacing your work, but you're creating opportunities of abundance that's out there to allow you to enter industries that ride the wave and not just benefit from AI and automations, but actually grow that industry and help you grow a really strong business. And then, the opportunities are left, right, and center. You can acquire competitors. You can buy different types of businesses. Many of the ETA guys in the space and search fund backed operators, they don't just buy one business, they buy 2, 3, 4. Many of them start investment funds and actually start backing other searchers and ETAs looking for businesses, and they start to, rather than acquire the businesses and work in them, they're actually now become investors and supporting young guys, young girls, wanting to start a business, acquire a business for that fact and grow it. And so, don't be fooled into this, victim paranoia idea of AI is displacing your job. Get on the wave, get on building your own AI company or becoming an AI expert. You don't need to do that, because 99% of those businesses will fail. And 99% of those people who come up with these ideas will fail. And what we'll realize is, like every other massive change to the workplace, whether it was the Industrial Revolution, farming, the dot-com boom, all these implementations of technology and changes, from horse and cart to car, from physical film to digital products, all of these things have only built the industry up rather than rip it down. But it's the smart operators that see the opportunity that exists there that will take it, back themselves, work really hard. And I can tell you, it's not easy, but if you're willing to invest in yourself and grow, the journey's worth it.